Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're having a very good day. So finally, it is the end of October. Happy Halloween, guys. Let's get on with the book reviews for the month of October. I decided to read horror slash scary slash macabre slash gothic kind of books this month. So let's get started with my first book review. Is Velveteen by Mr. Daniel Marks, and I was very excited to read this book, guys. This book is so much fun. It's a paranormal romance. Really great on the romance. Yes, let's talk about what it's all about. Our main character is Velveteen Monroe. She was killed by Bonesaw, and she's not very happy about how that all went down. So Velveteen's soul has been sent to purgatory. She has still things to do. Velveteen not only has to look after the souls in the daylight, she also has to protect the souls in purgatory, exact revenge on her killer, as well as figure out this revolution that's happening down in purgatory. Things are afoot. Things are happening. Next, guys, let's talk about the characters. Velveteen Monroe. Velveteen Monroe, she's a BAMF. She's a badass motherfucker. She is a very strong personality. She is very independent. She likes her job. She does her job really well. She also wants to exact revenge on her killer. She doesn't care about the consequences. I actually identified with her a lot in terms of how she looked at relationships and work and things like that. So that was really cool. She also has a soft, compassionate side as well towards her friends and those she cares about. There are different sides to Velveteen Monroe that I really liked. Next, guys, let's talk about Nick, the romantic interest. Nick, you're so fun. You're so fun. You blow my mind. Oh, Nick, you are very nice to read about. I really liked his character. I thought he reacted appropriately to his death, to the whole situation. I would definitely love to see more development with his character. There's also side characters, Louisa and Logan, they're siblings, which I love. I love reading about sibling relationships. They were super fun and cute. I love Logan. He's crazy, and we get a little introduction to a little bit of their backstory and a little bit of their individual personality traits and vices. Next, guys, let's talk about the plot of Velveteen. It's insane, it's crazy. We have Velveteen and her wanting to exact revenge on her killer. She has a job that she has to stay on top of, saving souls. This revolution that's going down in purgatory. Those are kind of the three main storylines going on, and there's a lot of side stories and subplots attached to those as well. I think I was a bit overwhelmed with the amount of different elements and things that were going on in the story. The revolution storyline, there was a lot of mystery surrounding the antagonist and what the revolution was kind of about, so I wanted to know more about that. The other storyline, which I really adored, was Velveteen's job going into the daylight to save the souls, and that's where she meets Nick. And I love the romantic relationship within Velveteen. It was very sweet and very gushy. I gushed a lot with the relationship. There was a lot of romantic tension, kind of, but not really. Danny gave you the tension, but kind of gave you a little something, which I really appreciated. Yeah, that was really good. But yeah, I was just a bit overwhelmed with the shift from one storyline to the other, so there was a lot of jumping around. And as far as the writing is concerned, if you watch Danny's videos, which I have, his personality comes through in his writing. I could hear Danny's voice while I was reading Velveteen. It was so him, which is fantastic. I really liked it. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to give Velveteen 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really liked Velveteen. I wish I reveled within the setting a lot more. There were some instances where I had difficulty picturing some of the imagery in the book, but for the most part, I really like the characters. I love the relationship between Velveteen and Nick. I'm excited to see where Velveteen goes from here. My next book review for you guys is on UnWholly by Neil Shusterman. This is the second book in the Unwinding series. This is a dystopia book. I read the first book 2 years ago, Unwinding. I really enjoyed the concept of Unwinding. I really enjoyed the characters, and I was ecstatic to hear that this series is going to be a trilogy. So let's talk about what this story is all about, sans the spoilers. Our main characters have to deal with the after effects of their actions from the last book. We also have new characters and perspectives introduced in UnWholly. One of the main characters in the sequel is Cam. He is made up of entirely unwinded parts from head to toe, inside and out. He is made out of different kids. So he's like Frankenstein's monster, Yes, yeah. The plot thickens and continues from the last book. Next, guys, let's talk about the characters. The fantastic characters. I love the characters so much. I love the characters within this book. We have good characters, we have bad characters, we have confused characters, we have antagonists that you love to hate. Neal Shusterman pretty much covers the spectrum of different character traits as well as personalities within this book, which makes for a very interesting story. There's a lot of character development, of course, with all of the characters. Some of the characters you wanna punch in the face. You do. They're horrible people. Next, let's talk about the plot. There's a really nice flow from beginning to end. All of the perspectives, I think, connected really well together. At the beginning of the book, there's advertisements kind of promoting unwinding and why it's so awesomely fun. With that being said, guys, I'm going to give UnWholly 4.5 out of 5 stars. Really like the book. I love the writing. Neal Shusterman's writing is quite vivid and the personalities of these different characters really pop and really speak to you. Their voices are very clear in your mind when you're reading them. If you love dystopia, I highly suggest checking this out. My next book review, guys, is on The Isle of Blood by Rick Yancey. This is the 3rd book in the Monstermologist series, which I just adore. It takes place during the 19th century, which is fantastic. It's very gothic, macabre. Love it. Love it. So let's talk about what this story is all about. Our main character is, of course, William James Henry. He's so cute. He's 13 in this book. He's the assistant to the monstermologist, Dr. Warthrop. He's crazy, but I love him. And in this story, Dr. Warthrop is on the verge of finding the monster of all monsters. This monster creates nests out of human body parts. He makes blood rain from the sky. Isn't that nice? That's pretty much where the story takes off. Next, guys, let's talk about the characters. I love the characters so much. They're so well developed. I love William James Henry. He is 13 years old. He is super cute. Like I said in my other reviews, he's a trooper for putting up with the doctor, for putting up with this crazy monster business. It's insane. And of course, the monstermologist. He's crazy. He's intense. He reminds me of Dr. Bishop from Fringe, if you guys know that show, and actually Benedict Cumberbatch in Sherlock Holmes. If you meld them together, you get the monstermologist. Again, the monstermologist is a very harsh character. He's very straightforward. He pretty much treats Will Henry as an adult. He, you know, forgets sometimes that he is just a boy. And so when things get out of hand and kind of endanger Will Henry's being, you know, a light bulb comes up. It's like, holy shit, he's just a boy. You see his feelings start to come through. I love their relationship. It's just very sweet to read about. And of course, John Kearns. I know he's supposed to be the antagonist, but he is so fun to read about. He has a great personality. That sounds so weird saying that, but he is actually very entertaining to read about. It's weird complimenting an antagonist. But anyways, as far as the plot is concerned, the monster this time around was interesting. Not as gory or violent or as intense as the other previous monsters in the other books. It was quite interesting, but at the same time also anticlimactic. Reading the Monstermologist series and the adventures and the trouble and danger that Will Henry and the Monstermologist goes through is quite intense in those other books compared to this one. So I was a bit underwhelmed with the plot in general. With that being said, guys, I'm going to give The Isle of Blood by Rick Yancey 4 stars out of 5. Not my favorite out of the trilogy, but I believe there's a 4th one. I heard there's a 4th one. Yay! Still worth checking out if you really enjoy the Monstermologist and the Curse of the Wendigo for sure. And lastly, guys, I am going to review the Call of Cthulhu by Mr. H.P. Lovecraft from the Necronomicon. I am so disappointed in myself for reading one short story. I did read a short story and a poem because it was like this long. Yeah, one short story, that is so sad in all this. And it was only 25 pages. That's why it's so sad. Anyways, let's do a quick review on the short story. So as far as the writing is concerned, H.P. Lovecraft gets into a lot of descriptive writing, talking about the characters, what they've seen, the horrifics of Cthulhu, and I've heard H.P. Lovecraft's stories, his writing is quite wordy, which it is, but I didn't mind it so much. His descriptive writing really captures the horror aspect, the supernatural, creepy aspects Cthulhu. So for the most part, I didn't mind his style. It's kind of a slow, gradual build-up of the plot. Strange occurrences, the dreams, the voodoo. It was quite creepy. There's some pretty vivid imagery that's going on in the story. So I'm going to give the Call of Cthulhu 3 stars out of 5. Really like the imagery that H.P. Lovecraft created. So I'm looking forward to reading other stories. Anyways guys, those are my October book reviews. I hope you have a very good Halloween. Eat lots of candy. Have a very good one. I will talk to you later. Bye.